Welcome to the Old-Fashioned Three. They've been around basketball from the Big Dipper to the Greek Freak, from Russell Celtics to Curry's Warriors, from Peach Baskets to Paolo Banchero. Here are Whitey Gleason, Phantom, and Jerry Reynolds.
Yes, that was that cat, all right.
Yeah, that was that cat, all right. Welcome back to the Old-Fashioned Three, Mr. Basketball.
Hello.
of
Hello, everyone.
Phantom.
That's hello. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The great Jerry Reynolds, who I kid you not, after we're done today, he's got to go to a pheasant club for some kind of appearance, right?
Well, I'll appear there. I'll be there.
So it's a bunch of pheasants? What?
There's a couple pheasants.
A couple pheasants
yeah.
just sitting there. Hey, Jerry!
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
And yeah. Kevin Michael Whitey Gleason.
Yeah.
Boo. Yeah. Pheasant Club reminds, is this not true, Jerry, that in the early days of Arco, and I guess it was the first Arco, that Reggie Theus used to go out hunting for turkeys with a bow and arrow?
I don't know. I know he went out hunting. I thought
Okay.
it was for pheasants over there.
Okay.
But
Pheasant? Maybe it
because
was, yeah.
where the original Little Arco was to the west, there was nothing. And I mean, that's several miles, which, obviously people of recent years where Arco 2 was and North Natomas currently did not exist. And so it was very safe. You know, you go over and not just with a bow and arrow, I think you could even use a rifle. over
Whatever you
certain
needed to,
areas.
machine guns.
Yeah, I don't know.
AK-47s.
I've never been a hunter, but I mean Reggie was and hunted a lot of things. Yes, and
And usually bagged his prey, as we call it. Yes.
he was
High success rate.
Yes, very
he was
good,
good at getting his quota.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you know better than I, so it was probably pheasants. But
Yeah.
Phantom, if it was turkeys, I'm thinking Jerry needs to go to Mrs. Reynolds and say, let's put
That's what I'm
all
thinking.
the glitter aside and just get Reggie over.
Well, Reggie
and
may not be able to see as well as he used to. He may not be the hunter,
Those
if
turkeys
you will,
ain't
as he
coming
was.
close.
Well, those turkeys pretty much own that place now, so they probably
As
hang
you
in the
guys
bedrooms and
may
stuff.
or may not know, Roseville turkeys are more protected than humans.
Okay.
So
All right.
Well, sure.
So they have more rights than
Okay.
homeowners.
All right.
So
I gotcha.
we're just
They were here first, right? They're the indigenous population.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure even about that, but they are. That's what somebody would say.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
Jerry, congratulations are in order
Yeah,
here
hey.
because after last night, the Lakers are 0-4. They're 0-4. First time LeBron's been 0-4 since he was a rookie, so you must feel good about that.
I do, and cannot lie about it. Watched a good bit of it. I mean, and my God, they're bad. They really, I think, they're the worst team in the league, and their offense is just terrible. I mean, defensively.
But Russ didn't play, and they still can't shoot.
Well, we're going to blame Russ anyway.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's what we do in Laker Nation. We're going to blame Russ.
Oh, you're a member of Laker Nation now?
Well, when it comes to bad stuff,
You're
I am.
undercover agent?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm kind of.
Well, they shot, 27% from the three-point line
Yeah.
last night.
So they were
And
pretty
Patrick
hot.
Beverly said it's actually an improvement for us.
Yeah.
We didn't have Russ, so we shot better.
Well,
Yeah.
they'd been 20%, so they're at that rate in 3 or 4 games, they're going to be good. Or if they go up 6% a game, that's what. Probably.
Wow.
And credit to Beverly. That's kind of what you ought to say. I mean, I don't know. But I enjoy watching them play because their offense is just it's a thing of beauty. Really, it's just
To you, yeah.
Well, because whoever's got the ball, and usually it's LeBron, will kind of dribble away most of the clock.
Okay.
Trying to find
Yeah.
something, and then then somebody gets it with the clock pretty much run
Probably
out.
the way that Darvin Ham drew it up.
I'd like to believe that'd be true, but I'm sure Darvin's sitting over thinking, "Whoa, I could have went one more year.
I could have been an
Bucks.
assistant in a lot of different
I
places.
could have stayed with the Bucks."
and then moved on to a better job the year after that. Wow.
Yeah.
LeBron had too many turnovers. Did he have 8 turnovers last night? And Anthony Davis had a pretty good game. I think it was 22 and 14.
Yes.
But first half, I know he scored a basket, and they call a timeout, and he's coming off the floor, and they're like, "Hey," and he's going like this. And I thought, well, they're done. And he played the rest
Do you
of the
think
game.
He's
so
doing that like
I guess
in a,
it's okay.
like in a
But-
soap opera. If a guy coughs, 3 months later he's dead. And then
Yeah.
Anthony Davis like, remember that game? I think I tweaked my back, and about 3 games from now he'll be out.
Well,
yeah,
they're
he's done.
finished,
I'm out.
but
Okay.
LeBron says, "Hey, look at our numbers. We're top 10 in all the defensive metrics. We just got to improve offensively."
Well, he's correct. Now the other part, and keep in mind, and I think LeBron knows this, that at the end of the day, and if you're really good on defense, it means you don't have to score as much as you would if you're poor on defense.
okay.
But you still have to score more than the other guys.
team. Sure.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
and since they're a minus 15, that's a pretty good little hill to climb. It's So
Yeah.
there is that. I mean,
Yeah.
so that's why if you're a Kings fan, it's like, you can be O just like the Lakers are, but your O is a tinier O.
It is. It is. But here's the thing, Mr. Basketball.
Yes.
We got the Kings and the Grizzlies tonight. You guys are both on record.
We are
already
on
saying
record, and
Kings
I'm
taking care of
sticking on
business
record.
against the
Yeah,
Grizz.
TCB,
right?
baby.
I
Yeah.
said Jaw's going to go for 50, but we'll see.
And we
But-
say both could be true.
Yeah. Here's my point. If the Kings lose tonight, maybe they don't, but if they lose tonight, they're 0-4. Since 2011, only 2 teams have started 0-4 and got to the playoffs.
Okay.
Both of those teams had Russell Westbrook on them. So
Ooh,
if
I like
the
where you're
Lakers
going.
lose tonight, if the Kings lose tonight, they
Yes.
have to trade for Russell
Yes,
Westbrook.
yes,
So they
yes.
have him and the Lakers don't.
Yes. For once, I agree with whatever his name is over there. He's got. I mean, the numbers work, Jerry.
Well, they
You
do,
can't-
they do.
You can't argue
No.
with them. The numbers
No.
work. It's there in black and white.
We're here to provide really good information.
And that.
And yeah,
There was a time, it seems to me, that a few years ago when the Kings would have been a team that might have been interested in Russell Westbrook because he's a big name.
'Cause
and
he's a big
potentially
name.
available.
Yeah.
So in a way, isn't that a sign of progress that they have, thank goodness, no interest in Russell Westbrook right now?
well, I think I guess that would be true. And yes, on 2 fronts. Yes, there was a time when the Kings would have had a lot of interest because he was really, really
Well, yeah,
good,
yes,
and he would
at
have
the
made
time, yeah.
way better than anybody the Kings had.
Yeah, that's true,
And would have
too.
made the Kings better. And it's also true that he would not make the Kings better now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, is he available? Well, sure. So is Oscar Robertson, but
Mm-hmm.
And that's a discussion.
you know,
I mean, that's Oscar
make the
takes
Kings.
fewer bad shots.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. By the way, Russell Westbrook just bought a house, $37 million, and it's directly across the street from LeBron James.
Well, that's gonna be awkward.
How about that?
That's gonna be awkward.
Hey, neighbor.
Yeah, for now. But once
Yeah.
they can get rid of that contract, no.
Yeah. No, but you're right. Russ didn't play last night, and the Lakers still stumbling
Yeah.
and bumbling along.
I heard one thing, a hamstring problem or whatever. Do you know how many hamstring injuries or calf injuries that Russell's had his career? This would be one.
This is the first one, yeah.
Which I think,
Timing?
which some people,
Yeah.
I think it's Colin Coward, found quite interesting. Why all of a
Wow.
sudden,
Interesting.
when you go to the bench or not, or contemplated going to the bench, your hamstring becomes a problem.
I hadn't considered that.
I know
conspiracy
you
theory,
hadn't.
Mr.
That's why I brought it up.
Wow.
Well, weren't they considering sending him home anyway? Isn't that what they did with John Wall? I mean, maybe if they send Russ home, he's living right across the street from LeBron, so that's kind of
You
convenient.
talking
But
about the Jay Crowder treatment?
I'm talking about the fact that he's not doing. I think what they should do is they had Russell out yesterday, and they checked their shooting is a little bit better. And now next game, Kendrick Nunn sits out. And treat it like an allergy. You're trying to figure out which is the guy that's doing it, and you just keep taking one guy out and see what your shooting
Well,
numbers
maybe
are.
you're not looking high enough. Maybe.
Hey. Well, you can't do that because he's running the show.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, be like, yeah.
You take Darvin Ham out before you take LeBron.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but it's one of those all the basketball shows and definitely clickbait things talking about the Lakers are contemplating, giving thought to moving on from LeBron. It's like, well, I mean, I don't believe that's true.
Isn't
I
that
don't
the other way
think so either.
around,
I
though?
think so.
Isn't
Yeah.
it the other way around? Isn't LeBron the one that may, because he does hop from team to team?
Well, I think his hopping days may be over. I mean,
LA is his place, I think,
it's like, it's kind of like a former beauty queen. Yeah, she can talk about, I've got to, get a bigger role or something like that. Well, yeah, you could use a bigger role, but you're not going to get one.
Right. So if LeBron,
You don't
would
got
be
the
perfect.
juice you used to have.
If things
too.
fall apart there, he can say, it wasn't my fault there. I'm going to go back to Cleveland and help this young team. I'm going to get them over the top to another championship.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I can see something like that.
Well, I can too, but I know it's been made pretty clear they don't want him back.
That's the other side of that
Yeah,
equation.
yeah. That
you can
ship-
offer to come back to us, but we don't have to take you.
that ship has sailed.
Huh. I didn't realize that.
Well,
Yeah.
you do now.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
you
Economically, that may not make sense either for other teams because he's
Well,
carrying
no,
that hefty price tag. Yeah,
You have to have $40 million in cap room.
It's just laying around,
or
yeah.
a couple of guys with $20 million you want to give up on.
Yeah.
And there again, it's like, no, I mean, not saying that it wouldn't be somebody. LeBron's still an all-star level player, But he is not the best player in the world now by any stretch.
No.
And that's a year from now. It's not going to be better.
Who is the guy who plays in Milwaukee? Is right.
The guy in Milwaukee is the best player in the world. The guy that if the Kings had Antetokounmpo on this team right now, they'd be a 50-plus win team.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to disagree from over here.
Yeah.
It looks good from my
I mean,
vantage
that's
point. Yeah.
you know, he plays both sides of the ball, you know, and gets productive offensively, productive defensively, great teammate, coachable.
He plays hard.
Plays
not,
hard.
Not all the guys are that good
and
play that hard.
plays pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Strange
That's
concept.
wow. What's
Can't
wrong
find
with
a lot
him?
wrong with him, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
What's
God,
wrong
you
with
know,
that
it's
guy?
almost
Boy,
like a
he's
like
gotta
a
take
throw-
some time off.
Well, he's the throwback to the Jordan Bird Magic eras and Isaiah Thomas. Those guys who actually, like, wow, they're
We got a
not only
game I'm supposed
stars
to
and
play,
difference makers. They played every game.
It is strange.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking
It's
of the Bucks last night against the Nets, and the Nets are now. What are the Nets? They're off to a rough start. 1-3.
Ben
Steve-
wasn't good.
No. And I know we talked a lot about that and how you got to give it time, but he just looks like, I know it's almost Halloween. He's like a zombie out there. He just doesn't do anything. Like,
Yeah, the joke on the show,
brains.
they're talking about, is he going to have more made baskets or fouls? That was the joke on the pregame show I was watching, and they're like, oh, he's going to
hilarious.
finally
Yeah.
get 2 baskets and 4 fouls. I mean, that's just
But he just doesn't do
it's-
anything.
well, the whole team. I mean, that in that game, both teams shot under 30% from 3-point range, and that makes for a pretty ugly game to watch. I mean, there's so many teams now. We talk about it all the time that are relying on the 3-point shot as their weapon, even when their weapon's not working. And there was like 8 of them last night, I think, in the league that were under 30% from 3. Those 2 guys were 2 of them. But yeah, as far as Ben Simmons is concerned, I keep looking at the box score, trying to see something in double digits, something any kind of positive in double digits. I got 9 assists last night, but that's still it.
Yeah, the box score is one thing, but I watched play Jerry. He's like he's just like going through the motions.
Well,
all
I was going to say, I was watching him last night too, and it's like, I think I have more fun mowing my yard than he does playing basketball.
Even with the turkeys around and stuff.
Yeah, even with
because you got to
turkeys
dodge
and-
the turkeys.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's. I mean, this is a guy.
What are you suggesting, sir?
I agree. I mean,
right.
Don't you have to kind of enjoy?
No, but isn't that kind of sad? Because didn't he just sit out a whole season because of mental health issues, and he comes back, and you think you're going to be reinvigorated? They seemingly have done everything they can on that front to kind of make it more comfortable, I guess you'd call it for him. And he comes out and he looks like, you mowing your lawn. I mean, that's really discouraging.
Well, I would
On
think
any
so.
kind of
Yeah,
front.
I mean,
Jerry's much more active mowing his lawn than Ben Simmons is playing
oh, I
basketball.
guarantee you,
Yeah.
because I want to get it done.
Yeah.
You know,
Are you a
mean-
get her done guy?
I'm gonna get her done. Might miss a few spots, but I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah.
Have a couple of turnovers?
I do it. Sometimes I miss spots just to piss my wife off.
Yeah, I kinda thought that was
because I know
good.
she'll say, "Didn't you miss that?"
And then how do you come back? Why don't you go do it then? You
No.
don't go with that. No,
No,
don't.
no, I go out there and do it.
Do you
Get a rise out of her.
I'm pretty soft,
do you edge? Do you
Huh?
edge?
No, I don't edge.
You don't
my
edge?
My wife edges.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ooh. Okay.
She does the edging.
Yeah.
I
I like
do
the
mowing.
division of
You have,
labor.
the bag, or you just mulch and have everything go back?
No,
on
no,
there?
we bag. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, bag.
Yeah.
You have a bag, yeah.
Battery mower. Don't want to.
Right.
The only way to go.
I'm with
Used
you
to-
there, yeah.
Yeah. Just really the greatest thing going.
Yeah.
And, yard's tiny.
Well, it sounds like you do have fun.
Huh?
It
Yeah,
sounds
I don't
like-
mind it.
Okay, I'm just saying with Ben, he
Yeah, I
doesn't have
don't-
that much fun.
Ben has that look
I
like-
mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like relish it,
No,
but I
you don't put it on the calendar.
But I
Mowing
know-
day.
But it's like no, exactly. And it's
Yeah,
like,
make the most of it, right?
Looks
Sure.
like,
Make the most
it
of
needs to be mowed.
I'll go
Yeah.
do it,
I'll
and it'll
go
be
do
fine,
it.
and it'll
Yeah.
be done, and I'll be happy
And
about
I'll
it.
be done by it, and
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
And
I can
then
watch Ben Simmons.
of course, the joy, if there is a little joy, is that once it's mowed, then I can play the hero role. Point that out 4 or 5 times during the day.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
And
hon,
that
yeah,
never
I
wears on
mowed
her.
the yard. A little bit later. Did you notice the yard? I had to get. So
Yeah. You might try this, Jer.
I'm going
And
to try that, Jerry.
Years ago, when Ricky Henderson broke Lou Brock's stolen base record, he said Lou Brock was there, and Ricky Henderson said, "Lou Brock was a great base stealer, but today I am the greatest of all time." And I adopted that speech every time I did something at home like mow the lawn or do something electrical or plumbing, I would go to my wife and my daughters and I would say that, and they got so effing tired.
Yeah,
of it.
that's maybe three times I'll chuckle. Yeah.
So you might try it once. I don't know. But
Well, I've always just kind of went with, basically senior warrior.
yeah, okay.
And-
Senior
and-
warrior.
And, she just real warrior. Warrior.
Yeah.
Senior maybe. Warrior, not so
Yeah.
much.
Senior War is
Yeah.
my new name on Twitter.
Yeah. So if I were her, I'd say, let me get back to you. I got to go edge now.
Yeah.
But whatever
Yeah.
works.
The edge.
Yeah. Ben Simmons has the look on his face, like, to your point, like, how much longer do I have to do this?
Yeah.
Are we almost done? He has the same look. Last time I saw that look was, remember when the Colts played the Bears in the Super Bowl? And they showed the Bears bus arriving, and Rex Grossman got off the bus.
remember that.
He had that look,
Well, he didn't know why he
Poor
was
Ben.
there, though.
Yeah.
Problem. I think Ben's
Yeah.
supposed to know why he's there.
Yeah, so I know they're saying all the right things about, you know what, he's making progress. And even, the superior Van Gundy, Jeff Van Gundy last night said, look at his numbers, he's making progress. But, woo, it's an uncomfortable watch right now.
Well, it is, and I mean, it is one of those things, and we've talked about it. And at the 20-game mark, he has got to be significantly better. Significantly better. And now they're, because at some point you can keep propping, the old pat him on the butt and all that every day. But pretty soon there's going to be a day where that pat's going to turn to a kick if it's not better.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, the one-loss record, I mean, at some point that team is supposed to be up somewhere near 45 or 50 wins, and that's not the way they're trending right now.
No.
If they don't get him straightened out, I don't think they're getting there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some of that cogent commentary you're talking about right now.
It is.
Yeah. I'll tell you one
I'm
thing.
not sure what cogent means, but
Don Cogent?
yeah,
That's Don Cogent.
I'll just tell you, you nailed it. Okay,
Okay.
exactly. It was cogent. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
The Kings, I guess they listened to the pod, the last one, I don't know, because you went off on how it didn't make any sense not to start Keegan Murray. And tonight against the Grizzlies, he is supposed to start. So, hallelujah. That wasn't that hard, was it?
No.
boy, it sure wasn't. Really. I mean, it's like generally speaking, you want to get your best players on the floor, and when you look at the best players on the Kings, you don't have to go down many notches to find him.
Right.
You don't have to go down 5.
Yeah.
You maybe go down 2.
Maybe. Yeah.
And maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Interesting
that's good. That's a good thing, getting him out there and get him minutes. Try to get him shots. He's going to have his rough moments, but this, I think he's just a special kid, a special talent that, the Kings fans are going to like him for a lot of years.
And I think that he's one of the reasons that our prediction is going to be true tonight. He's
do
going to
too.
come out, make a big impact, and get Fox be able to play a little bit different game. And all of a sudden, look at this.
This type of guy I am. I'm going to offer you guys amnesty on that pick. Is that right now, if you're going to go, never mind. It's fine. No questions
What's that?
asked. I'll offer you both amnesty on your prediction that the Kings will beat the Grizzlies. So you can, no questions asked, no responsibility going forward. You can say, you know what, I want to back off of that prediction. Give you that
Can
opportunity.
I have till the end of the show
No.
to decide on that? Is
Okay,
that something
all right,
I'm
all
going to
right,
think about?
yeah,
Give me
okay.
30 minutes, give
All
me
right,
30 minutes.
fair.
Hit me after A to Z, and I'll let you know. Yeah.
I don't need any time.
Okay.
Kings are going to win.
Okay.
The Grizz are coming in not taking the Kings serious like they should.
Well,
A hungry Kings team. Keegan starting. I'm confident Coach Brown is going to use Sabonis at the high post more. I've got, been telepathic.
Yeah, I know.
I've been putting that out in the world too, Jerry,
Yeah,
for you. I'm
yeah,
trying to
so,
tell everybody I
you'll
talk
get
to.
him
yeah.
on the high post.
I posted a clip of you saying that. So
Yeah, so-
yeah.
That's right. Forget it. I'm not going to take the 30 minutes. I'm in still.
So
I don't
you
want
sure?
your, I don't
I mean,
want
you
your
can think-
freaking
you-
amnesty.
you can-
Take it away.
you can
Hey,
think about
I
it.
don't want to
You
think
gotta-
about it. I've
yeah.
already thought about it. 3 days of practice, rearranging the deck chairs, if you will. It's going to come out with a W tonight. Look out,
Okay.
Grizz. Here we come.
Fair enough. All right. Lock it in.
Thank you.
Of the teams that are supposed to be or have a chance to be really good, but that are struggling, Philly's off to a rough start. The Nets 1-3. The Warriors are 2-2, and they beat a couple bad teams, or they are a couple struggling teams, and they lost to a couple good teams. So I'm sure you saw Clay getting ejected against the Suns. Do you think there's anything here for the Warrior fans to be concerned about in terms of Clay, in terms of the putrid defense they've been playing at this point?
Well, I think their second unit just isn't playing well. I mean, they really have got to kind of figure that out, and I'm very confident Steve Kerr will do that. But how you're going to play your reserves, and maybe not as much, and who with, and of course then the second part of it is Clay. Clay has just not been very good.
Right.
I mean, and we all pulling for him and want him to get back to where he was as a major star in the league. And right now, he really, quite honestly, isn't carrying his weight out there, and he knows that. And that's why I think he's been too good a player for too long not to know. And I think that's part of the frustration with the Booker thing. A guy that he was been better than his career, and he's getting torn up by.
Yeah.
That'll get your attention.
Clay's still on a minutes restriction, which I don't think expected to be after last year. I'm making some assumptions here, but I think he thought, all right, I went through the toughest part of it, struggled when I got back with the team, then figured some things out. We won a championship, so here we go. And instead, as we talked about last time, he apparently had a mental issue with scrimmaging in the offseason, playing pickup, so he's behind conditioning-wise, minutes restriction again. He's further behind than I think he thought he would be, and just can't make a shot. And I think he's staring at that stark reality, right, of you may never be what you were, and it's got to be difficult.
I think that's exactly the point. I think he isn't going to be what he was. I mean, what he was top level, so there's no shame in that. But I just don't think he's going to ever be at that level or near that level. And the other thing is, the team dynamic has kind of changed. Jordan Poole now has moved in, maybe to that spot with Steph Curry, that he's the right-hand man.
It's not
now.
Just Booker. It's like, I got a guy, Jordan
Poole,
a guy on
like
my
they're
team. Getting ready to replace me with.
And if he's honest with himself, he's going, I can see why they're doing that. I'm a guy coming off a terrible injury, and it's taken me a long time to get back.
Two terrible injuries.
A terrible injury history.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a long time to get back. And this guy, it's not like he's filling in for me. He's excelling. He just got, $140 million. So obviously they're in with him. So that has to kind of weigh on him maybe, but he's got to be thinking about that. And so I think that he's going to have trouble getting back to that. He's got Poole moving in. The thing I'm interested in is if it doesn't start going better for the team in the next couple of weeks, this Poole Draymond Green dynamic, I think, is going to be revisited. I don't think they make a big deal about whenever they get a basket, they slap hands and everything. I think there's still something going on there, and I want to see what happens with that if they're not successful.
I think if there's an issue there, just based on what's been reported, Anthony Slater with The Athletic was on our 95.7 The Game last week. He said, and this is a guy who's a really good reporter, okay? This isn't just somebody, trying to get,
clicks,
clickbait.
yeah.
He said in the locker room, which is a beautiful locker room, by the way, and they have the old Oakland Alameda County
kind of like this,
ceiling in wood in the new locker room. But anyway,
cool.
He said it is. He said that it's kind of icy. He said it's icy with Draymond
I see that.
now. Not just Poole and Draymond, but like Draymond and everybody else. There was an issue the game against the Lakers where at one point Draymond's on the bench and during the game, LeBron's on the floor and Draymond's like, "Hey, Bron," and they're like laughing it up. And
I'm sorry, you don't do that.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I guess Iguodala made kind of an obscene gesture. But anyway, there's that dynamic too. So it's not just Poole and Green. There's the whole thing with Draymond. Is he going to be able to say, "Look, let's win this year," or is he already starting to separate himself because he knows, well, they're getting ready to get rid of me? I think that's big. And I know that who knows, but that's what's going on.
Well, I think there's all those kind of things there. There's a couple things. Just I've always thought when they talk about minutes restrictions, I have a real problem with that.
Really?
Yeah. Here's why. All right. The doctor
because he's on one today.
Well,
I am. Yeah.
I mean, they'll say,
47
so and so can play 20 minutes. Oh, okay. How'd you determine that? Like, at 22, will his legs fall off? What is the repercussions here? It's like, and how do you know? Well, you don't.
Which
you damn, it's like to me, it's. I mean, it's just it's a guesstimate.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Fauci deciding when you wear a mask and don't wear a mask. He didn't know.
So you're bringing politics.
Well,
into
no,
it now.
I didn't
Come
mean
on.
to.
Fauci, by
it's
the
a
way,
basketball podcast.
Fauci, by the way, no, that'll stand because Fauci played. Did you know he was a point guard? He was a basketball player.
Yeah, I think he was supposedly a good player.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the punchline? Come on.
Some about never passed up a shot. I don't know.
There you go.
But anyway,
I don't know.
the minutes restriction.
Jerry
I think
stomped on it.
It's kind of like trainers or players or what is that? I'm about 70%. oh, you sure you're not 74?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's
looks
arbitrary,
like,
yeah.
It looks like 74 to me.
But I'm not saying you're wrong because I don't know, and I understand your point. But isn't it dictated by the medical staff?
Well,
Or
you're sure they dictate it.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying
timeline.
is they don't know. They can't know.
yeah.
So it's dictated by people who have no idea what's
It's
going
based
on.
on something. It is a
Well,
guesstimate, but it's
So you
based
know you're not
on-
supposed to play him all the
Yeah.
time.
Well, that's
I
a-
can't play him 40 minutes.
Basically, let me put it this way: those are the same people that when I was 20 years old, or you were 20 years old, told you shouldn't drink water.
Wow.
You shouldn't drink water while you're playing; it
Yeah.
bloats you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same geniuses are now telling you, "Oh, he can play 20 minutes."
Uh-huh.
Man, drink all the water he wants.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
I mean, and he can't, but he couldn't play
I will-
25.
I don't know if I can all the way agree with you, but I agree with you to this extent. It is interesting. I think with the Warriors now, they're saying every game will give them like 2 more minutes. And like, that's gonna wait.
Well,
I'm not sure about
they're
that.
gonna
Well,
pull out
I'm
a-
with-
basically they're just being cautious.
Well, they're being cautious, but I mean, I'm with Clay on that one. It's like, well, I was playing a lot of minutes at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
How did I deteriorate other than I didn't scrimmage during the summer? It's like,
yeah.
you know, if you can trot me out there, if you can trot me out there, if I'm in good enough shape to play longer, I
Yeah.
should play longer,
Yeah.
and maybe I'll get my game back.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're on the minutes restriction, you're not getting all that time every night. Go out and play him 35
Yeah.
minutes. Let him play 35 minutes, 5 games.
Well, that's
in
what
a row.
honestly, that's
Yeah.
what I do with Clay. I mean, he's Clay Thompson, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
put him out there.
And if you think you can play, you tell me when you need to come out of the game. To be honest, and he's an honest guy, and try to get him back to being Clay Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at some point, if he can't get there,
Yeah.
then you go to minutes restriction. Not because
Then he goes to the Westbrook minutes restriction.
yeah,
Yeah.
he goes to
That
minutes
hamstring.
restriction for a different reason.
It is a delicate dance, right? Because if you're Clay, it's like the minutes restriction is just a reminder of what I'm going through, and it makes it harder
Yeah.
for me to get back to where I want to get to when you won't let me play.
Well, to me, it's so many of those things that just bug me to death. Is it the injury stuff? It's like, medical people say, well, Jonathan Isaac, well, he should be ready, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's been over 2 years. He ain't played yet. T.J. Warren, looks like originally, 6 to 8 weeks. Well,
Yeah.
It's been over 2 years.
Yeah, but
Well,
I mean,
it was
so,
6
I
to 8
mean,
weeks. It was just a little longer.
It was 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 times. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So I don't know.
yeah, but we don't see. Maybe you do, but we don't see the X-rays and all that, so we don't know what's physically.
Well,
going
that's his
on.
point. Is that they don't know either. They see
Well,
the X-rays.
probably
They have
know.
no
Let me-
idea
my
what's
point
going
is they
on.
probably know a little more than we do.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
And I'd ask the doctors this, and I have.
My mom used to
Okay.
work at a hospital, so
Okay.
I'm like a doctor.
So did mine.
So on that X-ray, where does the minutes show up?
Where does it say 22 to 24 per night?
Huh?
That's what we want to know,
it's
Mr.
something
Expert.
that we
And
extrapolate.
we're not talking about a
Yeah.
brain tumor here.
Right. It's something that you have to extrapolate from all of the evidence available, given the patient's history, what we know of this type of injury,
God.
the severity of the injury.
What a suck up.
When,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
when you have a
just-
TJ has
you
a
know-
6 to 8 weeks, where does it say 2 years? Where does it
I
on
don't-
the X-rays? Sorry, not yet.
Yeah. Okay. Look at Robert Williams III, right?
Okay.
Last year came back really early from a meniscus tear and played in the postseason and was played all things considered well, but a little spotty. Wasn't quite the same. Now he's not playing. So you know what?
Okay.
Maybe he shouldn't have been playing last year.
Well, who said he could
they
play?
they wouldn't have got to the finals, then, would they?
And who said he could play? The same doctors that said these guys can't play, and
That's
they were
right.
wrong there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think the
Prove Jerry's-
Celtics say, "Oh, he's not playing now"? Boy, we shouldn't have played him last year, so we would have got beat in the first round.
They didn't win the championship.
yeah.
They didn't
You know,
win.
Does he know anything about the way the world works? I don't
Jesus.
think so.
They didn't
Jesus.
win
Yeah.
then, and they'd be better off now if he was healthier. Yeah, I just
he has spent years with you, and this is
I know. I didn't do my job. I'm sorry, Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah.
God.
Well, I'm just saying it's not 1974 anymore, where it's like
What a great
it's-
year.
Yeah, where hey,
Oh, man.
it should
fantastic.
be. No,
wrap your own ankles.
should
all
be.
right, like in the AB, I remember reading about Larry Brown's. Like we didn't have a trainer, we had to tape our
And they were better
tape
for
your
it.
ankles
Yes.
and get out there. And if
Absolutely.
they're hurt, yeah, we
Here's
don't
an
want to hear
aspirin.
about it.
Here's an
Well,
aspirin.
yeah.
Tape your ankles. No water. Get on the floor.
yeah. Well, I was going to say when
Oh, but a minutes restriction, coach. Yeah, you're not playing. Shut up and sit down.
When I was coaching in junior college, yeah, we, guys had to tape their own ankles. Sometimes I'd tape them. Of course, some guys would tape them over socks. And then our didn't have a real trainer.
That was your point guard,
so,
right?
So basically, I got a big vat of creamer Jezik, and
Yeah.
we put that on everything.
Sure.
Hey, you got a stuffed nose?
Like-
Here, a little creamer
we
Jezik.
just sprayed Bactine on it. That's Bactine. It'll work.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys would have me believe it was better then. when
Oh,
you did that.
God,
Well,
yes. Are
well,
you
guys,
kidding me?
I'll tell you
They
this.
played every game.
They trotted their butts out there.
Ooh, nobody was on a minute restriction.
Yeah, rub a
Yeah.
little dirt on it. Come on.
Okay. All right.
A little creamer Jezik, and
Yeah.
let you be able to go.
What is it? I might have to get some of that.
Creamer Jezik.
Creamer Jezik.
Yeah.
Jezik.
Yeah.
Creamer Jezik.
Almost
Yeah.
creamer Jesus, but
Is that
Jezik.
Can I
Yeah.
get that over the counter?
Not anymore. You
Can
can't.
I get that over the
Gary's
counter?
got it in-
It's probably banned.
He's got it in his
Yeah.
closet. He's got cartons of it.
Well, just a big, giant, powerful version of Bengay.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
what
that's
it
all
is.
it was.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
But I'll tell you what, if you had a stuffed nose, you put that up there.
Or a sprained ankle.
Or a
That's the
sprained-
great thing. It didn't
sprained
matter.
ankle.
Yeah, sprained nose, stuffed ankle.
Bad
didn't
back,
matter.
bad
Oh,
back.
bad back was great for that.
Medically, I'm
Yeah.
not sure that.
Sprained finger.
But okay.
Done.
All right. The Suns, who just beat the Warriors, they said after game 8 and said, we were as physical with them as we could be right up to the line. So is that what teams are gonna try against the Warriors? Isn't that what teams have been trying against the Warriors
Yeah.
for years?
They've been doing that for years.
Been doing it for years. I mean, it just so happened it worked. I mean, the Warriors didn't have their best game, and I mean, certainly early last year, probably the Phoenix Suns were a better team than the Warriors, and they were a better team than the Warriors a good bit of the year until when it counted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what does that mean? I don't think it means any more than it did last year. It doesn't mean the Warriors can't beat them when it counts.
Do you still see Phoenix is up near where they were last year, potentially?
I don't think they're – I mean, I don't think so, and yet why not? The same – guys are there.
Yeah,
good
Crowder's
coach,
not there at
Crow-
all. and
no, but,
Chris Paul's another year older.
Yeah,
Still
I mean,
looks
you
pretty
you
good.
would think after the the embarrassment of the Dallas game, but that's one game. They won 64.
Yeah.
So do I think they're going to win 64? No, I don't. I think can they win 55? Yeah, I would say that that they're one of the 4 or 5 teams, if they're healthy and right, are capable of winning the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is Denver the best team in the West?
in the West?
Yeah.
I was thinking. Well, it's hard to tell now. I was thinking that before the season. Denver kind of circled Denver a little bit. I was kind of thinking the Clippers would be, but to our point about restrictions, I think we would have seen Kawhi like one game, and then he's just sitting out all the rest of the games. And so I don't really think the Clippers are coming through. So I do think Denver's right up there, but I think the Warriors, when it's all said and done, will be there, and I think the Suns will be there too. I think those 3 will all be there.
You know who's? I guess you could say, wow, they're off to a disappointing start. I think they're 1-2, but I'm not surprised at all. Is Dallas?
Yeah.
'Cause Dallas, Brunson, who left and went to the Knicks, he's playing really well for them. He had 4 games. I think he has 6 turnovers. He's been phenomenal. So I don't think Dallas is going to be anywhere near as good as they were last year, Jared. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, Dallas won 51 last year, and so
And they ended up in the conference finals.
yeah, I don't see them in the conference finals, but I could see them winning 48 to 47, 48 games. I think they are going to miss Brunson. They haven't necessarily replaced him, but they went with JaVale McGee and Wood. Are 2 nice additions, as well as Hardaway coming back from injury. So I think overall their talent base is probably as good, but Brunson was better than any of those guys.
Yeah. Hardaway is a good point because he didn't play down the stretch
Yeah, and
last
he's
year.
a shot maker, and so he's finding his way. But I think they're going to be good. And when I've watched them, I mean, they've had chances to win every game they've been in. That counts for something.
Yeah, it
and
does.
and
You're right.
And Luka is Luka.
You turned him around on that real
I did,
fast.
didn't I?
You did,
Yeah.
Well, Christian Wood, I mean, I really like him. It's
Yeah,
good
he's
to
a
see
good
him
player.
stepping up.
Yeah.
Well, part of it, just between us, I would never say this on here. I think Luka, as good as he is, I still think he's slightly overrated.
Uh-huh.
And maybe that makes me an idiot, but I think that. I think he gets
It
too
could,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the only thing. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
contributes.
Because
Yeah,
he's-
I mean, there are so many things we've talked about
He's
today.
so
already.
ball dominant, and he doesn't defend especially well. And I just think he's a phenomenal player, but I still think he gets a little more credit than he deserves at this point. I still think there are some big questions about him if he wants to take that next step, be a championship caliber team. I know it's not, or player. I know it's not all on him, but I still think he needs to put in a little more work.
Well, I don't know if he's overrated. I do think he is.
He's
probably.
puffy.
I don't know if he. I think he is probably. I would think the toughest player to play with in the league, or one of them, if you're his teammate, because you're scurrying to find your spot. You're finding your niche all the time, and like you say, he's so ball dominant that if you don't do what you're supposed to do and it doesn't work out, it's going to be on you and not on him. So I do think he's really tough to play with for that reason.
I don't disagree with that. I see some other guys I think are tougher to play with. I think James Harden. I think Trae Young. I think LeBron James right now.
Oh, yeah, but he's on the Lakers, and you don't like the Lakers, Jerry.
But I think he's hard to play with. Because he can't. Not that.
So would you have Luka on the all first team, hard to play with team?
I would have him. Yeah, but I think he's easier to play with than those guys.
Okay, fair enough.
I do because I think he's better.
Trae Young, I agree with you. Trae Young could just be strange because you're coming down court, all of a sudden this guy's shooting a 41-footer.
And I mean, they're all terrific players.
Yes,
but actually, Whitey makes a great point in the sense that they're so ball dominant, all of them, and so if it's not going well, they're not making shots and hitting the right guys, then it really gets tough.
And at the end of the day, they still have their numbers.
Yeah, all the time
because they have so many opportunities to get their numbers.
But the same thing was said about Oscar Robertson or Pete Maravich. Or Allen Iverson, you could the same things were said at different times during their careers, and even Michael Jordan early in his career.
Right.
They seem to all be good.
Yes, but George's a great point because at some point something changed where he was a player had a more positive impact on his team. And so I still think Luka, I don't see as getting to that point
when
yet.
Scottie Pippen
right?
coming to the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, basically that's what happened, right?
Yeah, and I think too. I thought Phil Jackson really did have an impact finally on my, or not finally, but pretty early on Michael. And I think Jason Kidd. I thought Luka was significantly better last year than he was the year before, as proven by results.
How far they got.
And then we'll each year is its own proving ground, and we'll see. But I to give him a little bit of a pass is that with the several new guys, and then certainly Dinwiddie's got a bigger role than he had before. So, I'd give him, certainly Luka. If in my mind, I want to give De'Aaron time.
I was going to ask if he's a guy who belongs on that hard to play with team.
I don't think he does.
Shots fired.
It's a question.
Yeah, it's a fair question.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's, he's like a Donovan Mitchell or those kind of guys that certainly, when he's on the floor, he's looking to score because he's good at it.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking to score, you're probably not always going to like that. But then, the old Jack Nicklaus thing, one guy bitching about not getting enough attention, he said, "Well, play better."
Yeah, that's
pretty simple sometime.
Right.
Basically, beat me. I'm Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah. If you start to winning tournaments,
and
you'll get a lot of attention.
Yeah. I will say Luka was a couple nights ago made that great pass where did you guys see this where he fell down?
Yes.
And then he threw the bounce back.
It was like traveling to
from
me.
his behind. If you don't get up, it's not a travel, though, right? If you fall down.
Well, in the NBA, it's not. No,
you fall down, you don't have a pivot foot if you fall down.
Well,
so that's traveling.
You can roll around on your back like a turtle.
You know what else?
It's traveling in high school and college. Yeah. It's not in the NBA.
Also, thank you, Jerry,
if
for
you fall
that
down,
out.
right? If you fall down, you have the ball.
Yes.
I can do whatever I want.
You can dive in on me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No foul.
Yeah. I mean, you can do what you can't do to quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yes.
You can put your whole body on, wham them side the head.
Yeah.
Loose ball.
Full body weight on them.
Yeah. It's like, it's either.
That's really what probably, if I were a bad person, I would tell.
That's not happening.
No. I would tell players, just throw a loose ball down there, and then we'll let the star try to get it, and then kabong him.
Yeah.
But stars don't go after loose balls.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It's a free for all.
Yeah.
But isn't that amazing? It's true. Guy goes on the floor.
Oh, it's absolutely true. Yeah.
Well, that's like I always said with free throws at the free throw line. I mean, once the free throw is missed, it's a scrum.
Yeah.
It's a scrum. You've got 7 fouls going on at the same time. None of them called.
And we don't call them because they're all balancing each other out.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Fine.
All right.
Well, we solved that, didn't we?
We did. 3 winless teams, 1 undefeated team. So the winless teams, Orlando, Lakers, and the Sacramento Kings. Milwaukee undefeated. Any surprises in any of that? Is any meaning in any? The Bucks have only played 3 games, by the way.
Yeah. Well, the Blazers almost pulled that off, but then Dame got hurt last night.
Yeah,
and they got
they
beat.
lost
But it's still just as impressive as long as he's not hurt. So that is a surprise actually that they won their first 3. I don't know. pay more attention to the ones on the bottom that haven't won yet. And so not worry about the top.
I'm a little surprised that the Bucks are the only team that's won all their games so far.
I'm really becoming a Raptors fan, I decided.
Oh, really?
I look over the Raptors.
They're a nice team.
Oh, man. With Anunoby, with him back and healthy, really another component to them.
Scotty Barnes
and
and Siakam is terrific.
Fred VanVleet. Yeah, I'm kind of becoming a Raptor. I'm kind of supporting them in the Eastern Conference.
I like VanVleet and Trent as a guard line, except I think VanVleet is too much of a volume scorer. In other words, they can pull it off because Siakam and especially Scotty Barnes are so efficient.
I know they're so good. He has so many options on that team.
So
maybe he can
and they
pull
need
back a
and
little
they
bit.
need his scoring and leadership. I mean, he's a good player, but 15 points on 14 shots.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one.
You'd
of
want
those.
that to be 9 shots rather than 14.
Yeah. Train
But
had
they're-
27 last night.
Yeah, he's former second round pick of the Kings.
Oh, we let that one get away.
And they're very well coached, in my humble opinion.
Oh, very well coached. Yeah. There's so many good coaches, but he's one of those guys right at the top. Well, he's got a championship, so
Yeah.
There you go.
Ty Lue, I would also suggest, really good.
I think he is again one of the very best. Former Kings player.
I didn't even realize that.
Never played.
Okay,
But he
Kings was a member of the Kings.
He was a member of the
Not-
Kings.
Didn't check in.
It's kind of like Sam Cassell.
Yeah.
And
Was that one of those trade things?
yeah,
or briefly?
yeah. Where
Okay.
you back when they were moving guys around to make money via taking guys on.
Yeah.
During
we were in the money making operation
during
those days.
the
Yeah.
during the end of the Malufian era where
The
they were
lean
going
years.
broke, and basically, we got cap room. We'll take this $5 million guy that's not any good that you guys are trying to get rid of if you'll pay his salary and give us $1 million to take him.
Basically, you're just selling.
So
guys.
that was basically what was happening.
As a financial strategy, though, for the Blues, that's not really good. To try to, I got to make money, so I'm going to sell one of my players or take on another contract to make a couple of million. It's not really.
It's
a
not
great
really
strategy.
good strategy for winning of games. No.
Or making money on the outside. Yeah.
Well, I always said that's when I think about one of my years interim things when they decided they wouldn't pay Otis Thorpe, and so they
Otis Thorpe.
could say we're not going to pay him $2 million, and it's like, well, a lot of people would, and of course Houston did. And
I thought that was a good trade you made for Otis Thorpe once you had to trade him.
well, they got some
Rodney
good
and-
players,
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
got Rod.
But it wasn't, to my mind, as good as Rodney was, and he's terrific, by the way. But we didn't have an Otis Thorpe. I mean, we could, that he was a two-time All-Star and a young guy that was coachable and just getting ready to be his best. And it's like, that's the only thing I remember saying was like, well, I guess, you can trade him, but, who we going to play at power forward?
Yeah.
Was that a reason back in '85 when Malone was there? They didn't take Malone because they already had Otis Thorpe.
That was the thinking at the time. We've got our power forward.
Yeah, okay.
And which, there again, it's kind of like you don't take Jordan because you got Drexler.
Because you got Drexler, exactly. Yeah,
Of course,
a little bit lower than that, but yeah.
It's like, could you have played Thorpe and Malone together? Well, of course.
I imagine you probably could
You
have.
don't
yeah.
take Luka because you got Fox.
There you go.
Boy, no, he had to bring it on.
No, it's true.
Yeah. No,
Well, I
you're
mean,
right.
I've always
no,
said
you're right.
I mean, that's the thing is to me the only sure thing is if you take somebody that's really good, you can always trade them.
Mm-hmm.
You can always trade talent.
Don't worry about how it fits.
Or if they're
yeah.
better than
And,
the guy that you
I
already
mean,
have. Yeah,
it's one thing if you're looking for that piece to make you a championship team. We just got to have a small forward, and we're ready to compete for the top spot. But when you have like 5 needs,
yes, and there's 5 spots on the floor, and you need to fill all 5.
We need somebody who's really good, and so if you have 3 really good point guards, you're still better off.
Right.
Because you have 3 really good players. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can trade to them if you need to.
So anyway,
Yeah. All right. We'll wrap it up here with A to Z, old-fashioned 3, A to Z. There was some confusion.
There was some confusion.
Pre-show about what letter we're on today.
Yes,
So I want
yes.
to make sure we're all on the same page here because Phantom said
I
he thought I is before.
I know a lot about hoops. I don't
H or-
know a lot about the alphabet.
Alphabet's tricky.
Yeah,
Alphabet's
tricky
tricky.
because they keep changing it on me.
But you said something about next time when we do the H's. We
Yeah,
just,
I got
or
Connie
the
Hawkins.
G's. Yeah.
And we're doing the I's this time, and next time when we do the H's. And if you think about that, it really doesn't compute either. But
Right.
it's funny because the guy I have for the I's, we've already mentioned a couple times today. So that's a little tease for you. Yeah, my H is Connie Hawkins, obviously my favorite player of all time. Legendary ABA player, playground player. Couldn't play in the NBA because he was blackballed as a result of a scandal that he was unfairly implicated in, and so he eventually sued. It was a great player in the ABA, first MVP of the ABA, and eventually sued, came to the NBA, was an all-league, first-team all-league with the Phoenix Suns his first year, had a couple of good years after that and made the all-star teams, but never was really the same because he was 27 when he came in the league. But I learned his story in about 1972 or something. He just became my favorite player, so I've always followed him, and that's my jersey that I got for him, which I let Stones have. I'm not giving it to Stones, by the way. I'm taking it back. But Connie Hawkins, my favorite player, so he's my H.
He was in that lineage of like Elgin Baylor.
He was after Elgin.
Connie Hawkins begat Julius Erving,
yes.
and then Michael to a degree, although he was a little bit smaller.
Yeah, those three really. I mean, Elgin Baylor wasn't quite. I mean, he's 6'5", so he wasn't as tall as the other two. But Connie Hawkins at about 6'8", and the same with Julius Erving. And the one thing, Connie Hawkins was a great player, and if he would have been allowed to play at the time he was supposed to, he would have been a great player. He wouldn't have been the greatest forward of all time, but he would have been an all-time great, I think. But what he would have done is change the look of the league, I think, a little bit earlier than it was, because he would have played like Julius Erving did a decade before Julius Erving, and that might have changed the look of the league a little bit and brought some more of those, playground stuff into the league. So it would have changed basketball.
He loved Connie Hawkins, so you got to read this book. Read this book. He finally read the book. The one thing that really stands out to me about that book is there's a story where Connie Hawkins, he was from Bed-Stuy, yeah, and he was had just his basketball shoes were very precious to him, and a guy with a gun says, "Give me your shoes," and Connie Hawkins like, "No, you have to."
He said, "Shoot me,
but I'm not giving up my shoes," and then the guy just left.
Yeah, size 13 or whatever when he was 14 years old. So he goes, "It took me a lot to get these shoes. Go ahead and shoot me. I don't care."
I need my shoes. I would go with a guy I think is maybe among the most underrated players I've ever seen. He's playing now. He was on TV last night. He's been with 3 teams, been to the playoffs with all of them. He's efficient. He was only an all-star one time. He defends. He's been first or second team all-defense, I think, like 4 times total. Drew Holiday. To me, he's a guy who does not get the credit he deserves because, fantasy-wise, he doesn't put up huge numbers, but he scores, he shoots well, he plays hard, he defends. He's a really good player, Drew Holiday, and he's got the 2 brothers that play, too. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
And he runs the team great, too. He's a great floor general.
True, real winner. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I always said that was, to me, off topic a little bit. Holiday is the guy that when they're going through trust the process crap, it's like they traded. Drew had been an all-star the year before, an all-star, and they trade him for the rights to Nerlens Noel. That's your that's
the process. Trust it, Jerry.
Yeah,
trust it.
That's why you couldn't trust the process. Right there.
You
had a young star, proven young star, and you're trading him for some pie in the sky, which was a pie in the sky.
Right.
Not a particularly good one either. Yeah.
Always all about the next sure thing that isn't a sure thing when you had a sure thing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Drew Holiday, terrific. One of the most underrated players. Couldn't agree more.
That I've ever seen. And his nicknames, basketball reference nicknames, include the Druth and Kung Fu Drew, but I'm not sure anyone's ever actually called him that.
Those are terrible.
That's what's in there.
He's a great player. I love the guy, but that's terrible.
I'll just go with Drew.
Yeah, just Drew Holiday.
Jay Holla.
Jay Holla.
But his brother's got Justin Holiday, so you can't go with Jay Holla.
There you go.
Right. Just Drew.
Denied. Sorry, denied. Great one, though.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one I think is equally underrated, an older version, an older good player.
Happy Hairston.
Well, that would be one.
I like Happy Hairston.
Happy Hairston was a very good player.
I like Happy Hairston.
Yeah. Played on a great team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it, though.
But that's not it.
That's not it.
Jeff Hornacek, who played on some outstanding teams. Very underrated player. Obviously, a perfect combo with Stockton. Shot maker. One of those guys that going to make his free throws, make his shots. Didn't take bad shots. Wasn't a great defender, but busted his hump. Played every night like Utah did in those days. And then conversely, the thing that always amazed me, he was a guy that was a second-round pick. The reason he was from Iowa State, he played forward. He played forward in college. A 6'3" forward. smallish, and so everybody said, "Well,
That's what you did,
Can
yeah.
he? The old deal. Well, yeah, but can he play guard?
Can he translate?
And I always remember him pretty well, just because of the Chicago pre-draft camp at that time, and he was in it, of course, and he was playing guard, and it's like, yeah, he can play guard.
That's what they're for.
What would he do in today's more 3-point oriented game?
He'd shoot more, make more.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, he would. His game certainly would translate easily.
And didn't he coach a little bit?
And
Had some
coach
success, but then
had success with Phoenix the first year. Like it took them from nowhere to 48 wins, and then they fell back. Yeah, and then coached the Knicks. I think he deserves another chance. I really do. I mean, I think he's an assistant somewhere, but Horny, as they called him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a great nickname either.
Yeah, well, that's
or the greatest ever. I don't know.
When I was in college, they could have called me that too, but then that was
they probably did.
Hey, there's Jerry Reynolds. We call him Horny.
Well, you could call every college guy that.
I think you can.
Of it.
But he's a kind of a throwback in a way to when there was actually a position. You tell kids there's a position called shooting guard.
Yes.
And it was a guard that shot. He didn't handle the ball. He was just a shooter.
Was like
nowadays they don't really have that.
Yeah,
as much
like Reggie Miller. I mean,
I love that guy. I call him Horny. Yeah.
Oh man! Anyway,
yeah.
That's what they were, shooting guards. And Del Curry, being an example, guys.
Yeah.
That's what their job was, to move around and get the ball and shoot
the ball.
Shoot the ball.
Yep.
And now you've got to have
more hybrids and stuff.
More hybrids.
But you have that even in baseball. Baseball now, there's guys that you got to be able to play third and second and a little short and outfield. Like if you're, what are you? I'm a second baseman. We don't need you.
Yeah,
that's all you can do now.
What else can you play left?
Yeah.
Not really. I played second my whole life. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
You can't play outfield and catch, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't need you.
Last opportunity, Phantom, offering you amnesty on your prediction that the Kings will beat the Grizzlies. No questions asked.
I didn't want to do that.
No questions asked.
You're asking questions now. You're asking too many. Frankly, it's insulting.
Off the hook.
Jerry and Horny and I, we all agree tonight the Kings break through win number 1. Getting our first win before the Lakers get their first win. Kind of a joyful thing, right, Jerry? Yeah.
I tell you what, Big Steven Adams will be lurking off that bench or to the bench and by third quarter you'll say, holy cow, who are these guys?
These guys haven't won yet? Are you kidding me? Jerry was right.
Watch out for Valanciunas tonight.
I always do.
Or as Charles Barkley called him, Jonas Vanuatu-Washas.
Well, the only thing there is he plays for New Orleans.
That's right.
But watch out for him.
But watch out. If he shows up.
He's not even on the
I didn't know the alphabet, but at least I knew Fatujuni Nini or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Can I have amnesty on that comment?
Huh?
Can I have amnesty on that comment?
You should have amnesty.
Okay.
We'll
Thank
give you amnesty.
We'll see. At least they will see you next time on the old-fashioned 3.
Thank you.
Yeah. What?
Oh, man.
What?
Thank you for joining the Old Fashioned 3 on Stones Radio Networks. To stay updated on the show, like and subscribe on YouTube, and all shows are available for download on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and of course at stonesradionetworks.com. Follow the show and the gents on Twitter at OL, Fashioned, and the number 3, at Phantom Radio 60, and at Whitey Gleason. This has been a production of Stones Radio Networks.